Hey everybody, we are back doing a game preview this time of a game that I am fairly hyped for. It's called Once Human. It's tentatively going to be released next year at the end. They're saying Q3 of 2024. Don't be surprised if this gets pushed back though, you know how games are. Anyways, this game is being developed, published by Starry Studios and Netease. And I have a lot to talk about. I'll try to condense it as much as I can, but I've played this game at this point for about, I want to say 12 hours. And I guess probably 11 because I did have a long queue yesterday. But I have nothing but pretty much positive things to say about it. First of all, if you're wondering what Once Human is, it is a, get ready, an online MMO, survival, post apocalyptic, looter shooter, creepy, weird. It's got vibes from a lot of different games. You see the backpack, it's got a butterfly. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Death Stranding with the way that is. And it's a pretty convoluted story. There is a story here. And they have lore, notes you pick up, books, etc., that it keeps track of where it's telling you a story. There are cutscenes, which you'll see in this video. You are essentially playing, it's a bunch of games put together. I'm not somebody who's played every game that are known to mankind, but this game gives me heavy Destiny, The Division, Valheim, DayZ. I could keep going and going and going. This game has so many things that it's I don't want to say borrowing from, but inspired from, and so far it all works. Essentially, you start out the game creating your character. It does this weird like introduction tutorial that kind of tries to, if you didn't know anything about the game, you think you're getting into like some single player, maybe co-op game, story driven because of how it starts out. It's got pretty fleshed out cutscenes in game and some like cinematic ones at the beginning, and it's got voice acting. And again, this is a closed beta. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. I think I did, but I was surprised to see how much was already there. I mean, I know they're trying to release a game next year at the end, but still, that's a year away almost when they're trying to release it. And for how much content that's in this beta, with them updating it, I've played it 3 days. Every day there was lots of updates. I noticed the difference between yesterday and today. So they're on top of their stuff right now, trying to put out a good product. Even so much so, there's so much hype on this game that they had to restrict it to keys. Originally, you could just visit their website and download it. 2 days later, they're like, "Uh oh, we need to slow this down a little bit," and they're now making you have a key for it. So I don't know if that was originally planned or not, but anyways. So again, back to what this game is. Like I said, it starts you out in this tutorial. Once you're done with the tutorial, you essentially drop out of the sky like a battle royale and you land somewhere and you essentially need to set up shop. You the name of the game is to build a base of operations, do a little bit of grinding like farming, and grinding is kind of, I don't mean it in like a bad way. Like you're like, it's pretty forgiving on how many resources you get per like tick of doing something. So if you're like hitting a tree, you get a lot of wood. If you're mining ore, you get a lot of ore. If you are hitting a rock, you get a lot of gravel and so forth. So that's nice. Also, it doesn't take long to get like food or water, assuming you. At first, it kind of does because you don't know what you're doing, because it doesn't hold your hand. It does give you a lot of tutorials and tips, which are very helpful, but there's still a lot into this game if you never played any game like this, so it can be a bit confusing. But you're just trying to set up a base of operations so that way you can tackle the world's threat. So the main enemy here is the pollution. There's this stardust. I honestly, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it to you why there's stardust and why things are polluted. Just know that it is, and people are going insane from it. There's actually a sanity meter, so if you consume too much food that's like bad for you, like that's been tainted by the pollution. If you get near the pollution, it's kind of like radiation. Think about it. You're gonna start to lose your mind a little bit. There are elements of PvP in here. There are zones where you can PvP, but right now the server I'm playing on is purely PvE, from what I can tell. The server is. But there, look, I did see where they have spots on the map where they are PvP areas and also strongholds you have to capture. There is a lot to do in this closed beta. I can't talk about everything as this preview will go on. So if you like survival games with base building, with looting, with the capability of maybe teaming up with people, or I played this solo. I played it completely solo. The boss that you're seeing on the screen, um, I went into this thing solo. It's got multiple phases, and I got my butt kicked because I didn't know how much ammo I really needed. This thing is a bullet sponge, and that is like not an exaggeration. It took me probably 12 minutes to get through the first phase because I had to use so much ammo, and I also wasn't upgraded that much. I just have kind of like a full set of gear, like starter gear, and like the crossbow and a crappy pistol, and I was doing no damage to this thing. So I had to like back out of there, start over essentially with my strategy by farming up to get supplies for making crafting more ammo. Because you can find like ammunition on the ground around, but if you want to like go to this thing with the crossbow, you need bolts. So you have to craft that out of resources. Some of those you have to go farm for. So be it. There are a ton of activities you can currently do on the map. There are. This is a quest. Like again, it's kind of like a MMO where you're gonna go do questing and raiding and all that. But the kind of variety that's here was shocking. Like, yeah, okay, at first it sounds like, oh, I just go to this town and I look for crates and I kill the enemies, but there is a lot of different level design here. Like it feels like the map is handcrafted in a way in certain areas. There's also a lot of really weird stuff in this game. Supernatural, creepy. It's got a very nice atmosphere. The music is very pleasing to hear as well. Now, I will say this: it is closed beta and it is janky in ways. I'm gonna forgive them again and know that this game has a lot of people playing on it and the servers are getting hit hard, so it can be laggy at times. It's like the ping will say, that I only have like 22 or 30 ms, but in reality, it's like it feels worse than that sometimes. Like if I'm at my base, it's not bad at all. Also, they're doing a lot of maintenance on the servers, so I mean it makes sense, right? So I can't be too upset with that. But there is jank when it comes to melee combat. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you hit them and you hit the enemies and you do, vice versa. Sometimes you get hit. And they are very, very lenient on how like they don't want you to die a lot or nothing. I could tell. Maybe they will keep it that same way when they launch the game, but they're very like generous on how many XP points they give you. It's pretty quick to level up in the early stages to get through the like starter base things you need for your base, like roofs, windows, and so forth. It doesn't take long to get through the tech trees. So I was able to get a lot done in 12 hours. I mean, I really am like digging this game. So if you're looking for a survival game to look out for next year, because I don't know how long this beta is going to be up, and I don't know if you'll be able to get a key. But if you're looking for a really interesting, promising survival game, definitely keep Wants Human on your radar because there is a lot of stuff that it's got going for it. If anything, the atmosphere, the potential story and lore, and the amount of fun you can have with a lot of people is here. Now, towards the end of this video I edited, there will be I think it's called Crisis, like a Crisis event. There'll be crisis events that happen, and I didn't really know that's what this was at the time. Yeah, it's on the screen right now. But like, apparently, there's this disco ball, and there's this giant monster. If there's enough people in the area, it'll summon it, and you have to kill it. And when you kill it, you get loot. So, very Valheim like when you go to an area and you clear it out, you get like coordinates or a key item to help you progress to the big boss of that. I don't want to say biome, but that zone. So yeah, there's a lot of inspiration here, and this game's got a lot of potential. So keep it on your radar, guys. I really think this is going to be something. I really do. So thanks for watching. If you're not following, please do, and all that stuff. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.